On behalf of the Illinois Sheriff's Association, it is our distinct honor to recognize Illinois deputies and correctional officers whose decisive actions, professionalism, and unwavering commitment to service directly resulted in the preservation of human life. The Lifesaving Awards are reserved for those moments when training meets courage, when individuals step forward without hesitation, placing the safety and well-being of others above their own. Today, we proudly acknowledge these officers for their extraordinary service and dedication to the communities they serve. The 2025 Lifesaving Awards go out to 6 Illinois County Sheriff's offices. 11 law enforcement officers celebrated in total. Let's meet our heroes. Wabash County Sheriff's Office. On May 21st, 2025, Correctional Officer Francine Clowers was in her office when she heard inmates yelling for help. She walked back into the jail to see what was going on. She saw a detainee hanging from his cell bars. He had tied his thermals together, made a noose, and tied them to the bars in his night cell. Clowers unlocked the cell but quickly realized that the detainee had tied his socks around the bottom of the night cell door so the door could not be opened. She sent another CO to get scissors, and they were able to untangle the socks from the door frame and enter the cell. Clowers then cut the detainee down. He was purple, not breathing, but still conscious. They lowered the detainee to his bunk and called for EMS services. The detainee was transported to the Wabash General Hospital. This detainee's life was saved due to the quick actions and training of Correctional Officer Francine Clowers to attend to detainees in crisis. We commend her for a job well done. Wayne County Sheriff's Office. Correctional officers Kenneth Drake and Donovan Lee directly prevented the loss of life within the Wayne County Jail. During their shift, Officer Drake observed a detainee who appeared unconscious, with a phone cord around their neck in an attempt to take their own life. He and Officer Lee notified Sheriff O.T. and Detective Cody Moore of the situation and immediately responded. Their attention to detail, situational awareness, and quick response were instrumental in identifying the emergency and intervening without hesitation. Upon reaching the detainee, both acted decisively to render aid. Working together, they freed the detainee from harm and began the life-saving measures. Their calm professionalism and teamwork ensured the detainee was stabilized until emergency medical services arrived. Following treatment and clearance at Fairfield Memorial Hospital, Officers Drake and Lee continued to monitor and care for the detainee upon return to our facility. In addition to this, they established continued care with mental health services during incarceration and made every attempt to ensure that the subject continued their care once released. Together, they demonstrated not only their commitment to safety, but also their compassion and dedication to the well-being of those in custody. Their actions exemplify the highest standards of correctional service and reflect great credit upon themselves, the Wayne County Sheriff's Office, and the corrections profession as a whole. Clinton County Sheriff's Office. On August 11th, 2025, at 8:25 p.m., Deputy Britt Weingartner of the Clinton County Sheriff's Office was dispatched to a head-on traffic crash in Clinton County. One of the vehicles was on fire with a trapped occupant. Only a few miles from the scene, Deputy Weingartner raced to the crash and upon arrival observed a Ford Escape's engine bay fully engulfed in flames. Deputy Weingartner retrieved the fire extinguisher from the rear of his patrol vehicle and was met by the 16-year-old driver of the Escape, who was also the son of the trapped female in the front passenger side seat. As the two ran to the burning vehicle, the driver is heard pleading with Deputy Weingartner to not let his mother die. After Weingartner reached the front of the Escape, he began knocking down the flames with his fire extinguisher. While the deputy fought the fire, a Carlisle City police officer arrived with his extinguisher, and he too tried to extinguish the fire. After a minute or two, both extinguishers ran dry, and Deputy Weingartner had no choice but to try and extricate the trapped female. Weingartner climbed into the back seat without hesitation, reached between the passenger door and passenger seat, and found the handle to recline the seat. Deputy Weingartner was able to reach up underneath both arms of the victim and pull her over the seat and out of the rear passenger side door opening The extraction happened not a moment too soon, as body camera footage shows flames entering the cabin near the passenger side floorboard. Officer Weinegarner stayed with the victim and rendered aid until EMS arrived on scene a short time later. Without any question, Deputy Weinegarner went above and beyond that night. Not only did he save a life, he also placed his own life in danger while doing so. Deputy Weinegarner's quick thinking, calm under pressure, and actions exemplify the highest standards of law enforcement. We celebrate the deputy as a hero. Christian County Sheriff's Office. On October 27, 2025, Deputy Bailey and Court Security Deputy Campbell were escorting 2 inmates from Courtroom A to the elevator following a court hearing. During the escort, one of the inmates suddenly turned toward the 3rd floor railing and began to go headfirst over the edge in an apparent suicide attempt. Deputy Bailey reacted instantly, grabbing the inmate by the legs to prevent a fall, while Deputy Campbell immediately secured the inmate's upper body. Working together, they were able to pull the inmate safely back onto the landing. Their quick and decisive actions prevented a potentially fatal incident. Following the event, Deputy Bailey ensured the inmate received appropriate mental health attention and took time to offer words of support and encouragement. Both deputies demonstrated outstanding situational awareness, professionalism, and compassion under pressure. Their life-saving teamwork and dedication reflect great credit upon themselves, the Christian County Sheriff's Office, and the law enforcement profession. On this same day, Christian County had yet another outstanding job done by Correctional Officer Mallory Bergschneider. Working in the jail that day, she witnessed on camera that same inmate who was under observation appearing to be distraught. She saw what was concerning behavior. The inmate had removed his shirt and was wrestling with material up and around his neck. She knew something wasn't right by the range of movement of his arms. Acting immediately, she entered the cell to check on him and discovered the inmate with his shirt tied tightly around his neck. Officer Bergschneider called for assistance and began removing the ligature, restoring the inmate's ability to breathe. With another officer there to assist, Officer Bergschneider's swift and decisive actions saved the inmate's life. McLean County Sheriff's Office. On June 20th, Correctional Officer Neil Kendrigan was assigned to the booking post at the McLean County Detention Facility. While conducting routine medication rounds to the inmate's house in booking, Officer Kendrigan approached cell number 5. Upon arriving, Officer Kendrigan attempted to gain the inmate's attention as he was sitting close to the door, but not responding. Officer Kendrigan breached the door with his partner, Correctional Officer Alex Hawkins, to assess the situation. Immediately upon opening the door, it was discovered that the inmate did not have a pulse. Officer Kendrigan immediately called for the nurse to assist. The nurse noted no pulse and immediately began chest compressions. Officer Kendrigan leaped into action by grabbing the automated external defibrillator AED. Upon retrieving the AED, Officer Kendrigan applied the patches to the inmate. Officer Kendrigan and Officer Hawkins took turns administering chest compressions and delivered several cycles of high-quality cardiopulmonary resuscitation CPR while awaiting the arrival of the Bloomington Fire Department. Had it not been for the quick response and the immediate application of life-saving techniques of Correctional Officer Kendrigan and Correctional Officer Hawkins, the inmate would not have survived long enough to be treated by EMS and transported to the hospital. As with any victim experiencing a cardiac event, the timing of receiving medical aid is crucial. This act of compassion, which saved the life of a fellow human being, exemplifies our purpose as public servants. Correctional Officer Kendrigan and Hawkins' efforts and outstanding initiative were instrumental in prolonging this inmate's life. Their unselfish actions reflect great credit upon themselves and are in keeping with the highest traditions of the McLean County Sheriff's Office and the law enforcement profession. Kankakee County Sheriff's Office. On April 30th, 2025, while on patrol, Corporal Zachary Richmond responded to an ambulance call for a subject that had passed out and was no longer breathing. When he arrived on scene, Corporal Richmond took the AE out of his vehicle and went inside the residence to find the victim lying face down on the floor. Richmond was able to get the victim turned over, verified that there was no pulse and that she was not breathing. Corporal Richmond then began CPR and continued CPR until paramedics arrived. Once the paramedics arrived on scene, they were able to regain a pulse and blood pressure in the subject. This was due to the high-quality CPR that Corporal Richmond began on the subject. His professionalism and dedication is a credit to the Kankakee County Sheriff's Department and is most worthy of recognition. Corporal Richmond's immediate action on that day helped save the life of the victim and assisted paramedics in getting the subject's heart working again. Had he not acted, the victim may have lost their life. Kankakee County Sheriff's Office. On April 16th, 2025, Corrections Officer Nicole Licht was assigned to the Maximum Security Housing Unit and all of its duties. While conducting a security check, Corrections Officer Licht discovered a female inmate laying on the floor of her cell under the toilet. Her face was a bluish-purple hue and observed a sheet tied around her neck and attached to the back of the toilet. CO Licht immediately called for medical assistance over her radio, assessed the situation, and intervened with the inmate's suicide attempt. Licht's security check diligence, calm demeanor, and quick actions helped prevent the death of an inmate detained at this facility. She exuded the utmost professionalism while interacting with the inmate, extensive knowledge of the facility rules and regulations, and excellent communication skills by relaying pertinent information to the supervisors on duty as well as the first responder. So often the basic duties of a corrections officer are overlooked, and the value that they bring to the security and success of the jail and safety to the inmates detained within. We would like to take a moment to recognize Corrections Officer Licht for her ability to communicate important information under duress, as well as continuously keeping safety and security in the forefront of her actions that ultimately aided in preventing a death. As we conclude today's Lifesaving Award presentation, we are reminded that behind every badge is a commitment to protect life at all costs. The actions we honor today reflect the very best of Illinois law enforcement, courage under pressure, professionalism in the face of uncertainty, and an unwavering dedication to serving others. On behalf of the Illinois Sheriff's Association, we extend our deepest gratitude and respect to these deputies and correctional officers. Your actions did more than save a life. They reaffirmed the trust, honor, and humanity that define our profession. Congratulations, and thank you for your service to the people of Illinois.